Hey everyone, this is going to be my second Montage Reacts video, and I'm going to be doing a montage by Lights, or at least edited by Lights, and I believe the player is Simply Fear Me. So it's a smaller, or a shorter YouTube video, and I've never seen it before, so this will actually be a first reaction unlike the last time. And before I get started, Brendan, if you're watching this. Okay, so again, I'm in Premiere here. I'm going to watch it for the first time. Lights is a great editor. He does all the stuff, or at least a lot of stuff with Shyway. So I'm looking forward to this. I haven't seen some of his montages in a while. I haven't watched a lot in a while. So let's dive in. And I clicked space and nothing happened. I'm just analyzing the 3D or the track text. It has a little bit of a wiggle, which is always a thing that happens, but probably the style you're going for. But I would say if you were I'm critiquing the first shot, sorry. If I was gonna go into the first one here, I would scale it in and have it rotate a bit. So I don't have a good way to show it, but basically screw it, we're gonna do it like this. Just adds a little bit. Other things I would obviously, I always talk about adding a little bit of camera shake in After Effects, maybe adding some dust particles that are tracked in with the shot, maybe having the first text here write itself, just adding some kind of like animations and things to make it more dynamic. It still looks good. There's nothing wrong with this. It looks great. I'm just like going off on like things I would do personally. Let's actually get into it again. My bad, you know. This one writes itself. I like the way it does it too. You can see a little bit of a shake. It's a clean transition. So he does a light transition here. Here we go. Got my position. Let's hit the road. Yo. Perfect slow motion. The sound effects are great, like the sound mixing here. One shot white corner. You see it so quick, I see why you wouldn't like put an animation on it. If you had time, I'd move these in Z space a bit, so obviously they're not all like kind of in the same plane. I would maybe, the second he thrusts here, add a blur to it. So you could even have it like out of focus here. As it focuses, it goes into focus. Then it goes out of focus again for a few frames. It goes back to focus. Just kind of like adding a little bit to it. And my roommate that I would always show him my Halo montages, and he did not like text tracked onto things. So if I ever got him to like the way I had text tracked on, then I knew I had something. So that's just whenever I see text is the first thing I jump in and think like, would Jordan like this? Nah. Would he? Maybe. The audio mix is very good. This is a wipe transition with the guy's hand going in. Oh, yeah, as he throws it, wipes very nice. So instead of just the hand and then cutting, it actually does like a slight wipe down with his hand. It's very good. Lalo did a lot of those, or Muggsy did a lot of those in Avengers. I love that that angle. Just the way the camera moves, like, so obviously he's cutting on action, right? So the character cuts to the right, the camera movement's cutting to the right, but it just feels like a really cool camera move. Obviously you're out of the map, so that's always cool anyways. If you were going to go hardcore, I would have just these rocks in focus. Obviously there's motion blur, so I might throw it out, but say like the background's out of focus, everything's out of focus here besides the rocks in focus. As the guy enters the screen, I would just rack focus to that. That's a little bit extra. You don't even really need to do that. I actually don't even think doing that would add to the shot that much. It's just, but this is awesome. That looks awesome. Nice. That was clean. That was all great. Your transitions and your flow into the transitions, really well done. Slow motion's good too. You do slow motion like with Questrade obviously, but you don't show the warping, which is great. I mean, there's like a frame or two, but there's always a frame or two. But really good. I dislike a lot when people use Twixtor and they just keep the warping like that's the style. That's not the style. That's a mistake. You got to fix it. And clearly you know what you're doing here. because he got it perfect. Even looks like he did a rack focus from his arm. Or not rack focus, sorry. Like the background goes out of focus besides the arm stays in. So nice. That's awesome. Everyone take notes on how to do slow motion. Nice. See? Slow motion. He's so good at the slow motion. Again, even though like the transition isn't super clean because it's just like a wipe, but it's going on the same direction that he's going. He's whipping sideways, cutting sideways, and it flows perfectly. I'm not a big fan of those ones, but it works. It works. I've done it before too. Definitely works, but I think it works if they can do it a little bit faster, just because it looks a little funny at moments. But that's a personal preference, and a lot of people love these. Silly Goose did in the last video too. Nice. Yeah, your slow motion work is perfect. This is what I try to emulate. Not a super flattering angle. Kind of forged from this. This side looks a little weird. Maybe just get a slightly different angle. But I know working with forge maps, you're kind of limited. I know what you're going for, and my project saved. Great. I feel like I missed the shots on that. Yeah, I kind of missed him, kill him there, but maybe that's, I mean, Halo 5, you know. Because that guy doing just running right for the flag. I feel like don't be upset I'm critiquing so much, but this is amazing. This is really good. That's why I'm giving it notes like this. This kind of shot here seems very generic. I think what I would do in shots like this whenever I'm doing camera angles is I never move them like just strictly on like a, God, what's a good way to explain this? I never have the camera just move left to right or forward and back. I never just do like on a single plane. I always try to make it like do some kind of rotate so it's dynamic. So you are going, say, left to right here, but then I would also have the camera move either in front of the guy or behind the guy if you started in front. You just so it has like a, I'm trying to draw it with my hands. If you had a dolly track, it's not a straight dolly track, it's a curved one or a slight curve. That's what I'm going for here, and the cameras are slightly going. I find those are always just more interesting. It's pretty wide on him too. Right? Like there's a lot of empty space that doesn't need to be used too much. What would be really cool, and I just thought of this as I'm doing it here, but you know in like movies all the time, they kind of do this as the person walks by. So it's a wide shot here. As it wipes, like this, I'm pointing at it, this wipes, all of a sudden we're in a close-up shot. Like this thing used a wipe for the same kind of angle, but you're closer to him. That would have been sick. I mean, you probably didn't think of that because I just thought of that randomly now, but perfect tracking. That looked great there. Transition smooth. Now, Halo 5 is a new game. Well, not new, but newer compared to the other Halo games, and the quality is just so theater mode, man. Or not theater mode, Xbox DVR clips, I imagine. Nice, I like that. I was wondering where you're going to go with that, because you can't just obviously cut from the stemmed gameplay. Be like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, what's going on here? The only thing I would change is it doesn't feel like it's zooming out enough here. So I would not zooming out, but like trucking out. I would have it a little closer, and it's pulling back. Then it goes forward quick here, because in this shot is going like in, right? So have it like pulling back and then into this one would be the only thing I would change. But it doesn't really need to. That shot's sick. Try not to swear. I really like that. I've never seen that camera angle on the Coliseum before, but that looks sick. Good mixing. Syncing, I should say. Good syncing and good mixing. Nice. That was good too. Fear me. That was nice. awesome. Overall, I mean, I feel like, don't feel bad. I critiqued a few things, or like I was only hard on it because it was really good. It was, that angle was my favorite. Let's go back. This angle was my favorite. Something about going out of the map and recording the guy. Yeah, so I'd say the strongest points, your transitions are great, which is one of the most important things in a montage. But the transitions from gameplay into angles, or angles like back and forth, are really, really strong. I would say what's even better than that was your syncing and your sound mixing, which again is almost more important than everything else as well. I'd say everything's important, but really audio is more important than video in a lot of ways in some things. If I'm dreaming, you can't wait. Like all of it is synced well. It's mixed well. I like the fact that the gun sounds are so clear. You clearly wiped away all the game audio and did it yourself, which is what I like to do too. I think everyone kind of does nowadays. Yeah, awesome video, man. I know you sent me a longer one, and I'm gonna do that one as well, but I thought I'd do this one first. But yeah, that was awesome. Thanks for submitting. And if you guys want to submit a video for me to react to and give some feedback on, just leave it down in the comments of this video. Make sure you are either the editor or the player, like it's your content, and I'll check it out. So thanks, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.